Hi people, I'm Modoni.
I'm Caroline.
Diana.
I'm Sally.
And together we are
SOS Dadas.
Hi Sally.
She didn't know what she was doing. Welcome back to our podcast. It's funny, 3 months ago when we started this, we didn't think we'd be here. It's 4 months down the line, and we are so grateful to our supporters for all the feedback we are getting. It's amazing, and we welcome you back today. We'll be discussing another touchy topic, just like love, money matters. I think there's something that also makes the world go crazy. It's money.
Yes.
Yes. I think the Bible was right when they said the love of money is the root of all evil. So money is not bad. It's the love of money. And I just want us to go round, and then I'll start with you, Mudhoni. What is money to you?
Okay. Money is the thing I need to buy stuff that I need and want. But has got an uncanny way of just slipping right through my fingers no matter what I do to keep hold of it.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love that definition, Kyra.
Similar to Modoni, I would say money is a transactional tool that I use in life on earth to to meet my basic needs and also to get luxury items that I'd want.
Okay, I feel like there should be like dictionary.
I know.
Like the new dictionary should be like, what is money? Sally?
Money to me is simple. It's a means to an end.
Yes.
That's it. Full stop. Means to an end.
It's how you get what you want.
It's just the means. It's like the gari that takes you from point A
to point B. So you need it to achieve your needs and your wants.
But it is not either. It's not what I want. It's just something that will help me get what I want.
Yes, so I'm saying it is the means that you use. Yeah, and
correct.
I think that's the underlying theme here, because it's this channel that allows us to get the things we want and also the things we need, which are basic needs. Food. And I think that's why the Bible is clear that the love of money is root of evil, but money in itself
It's not evil.
and that's why Jesus said, give to Caesar what is Caesar's. Rudy, share, please. Means like, don't catch me in between all this. Return to Caesar's what is Caesar's.
Actually, on the same also, as you're saying about the love of money, something that I'm reminded is about, no matter how anointed you are as a believer, you will not go to the shopkeeper and tell them, praise the Lord, and they give you bread. The Matatu person will not give you a free ride by just saying, Robba,
Speaking in tongues.
we have to use it. And it's something that you cannot, it's not like you can avoid money. Whether you're a believer and unbeliever,
Nope.
we all have money and we'll have to use it.
Exactly. And picking up on that, Carol, now that we know money is what we need, what are some of the best, it's a medium for us to have what we need and want. What are some of the best financial decisions you've made in your life? Younger, older, now?
Okay, fine. So probably for me, I think the best financial decisions I've made have come from discipline. Discipline or living on a budget. And where I'm able to prioritize in regards to, if I'm buying a big ticket item, I will save towards it. And I really hate debt. So I really minimize my debt and then ensure that I will save for the big ticket items. So like for me, case in point, when I wanted to buy a car, I saved towards it. And also other than having just savings, investing. Because you see, there's a difference between having money in the bank. You're enriching the bank, by the way, because they're transacting with your money by lending other people.
That's true.
But if you have extra cash every month, put it aside and invest. And there are very basic things that you can invest on a monthly basis from even money in the money market. And also you can do what are they called, these funds, the investment funds with various insurance companies that you can do. So
But with that in mind, because you sound like you're the stickler of the budget. The one who goes for shopping with the list for, if sugar was 2 kgs, 2 kgs. Even if it was buy 2 get 1 free, she doesn't want it because the budget didn't allow it.
To mess up her budget.
How then has it been for you? How are you handling your finances as a single person? When you got married, did that change? Are there things you're learning as a married woman in terms of when you handle finances with another person? How's been that experience?
Okay, fine. So my financial decisions have greatly changed in marriage. A friend of mine was telling me that she was warned not to bring her financial expertise into her marriage because she's a finance manager and she's very disciplined, and her husband is not at all disciplined. So when I was courting my husband, we were doing this course about preparing for marriage, and when we did the part about finances, it needed an exercise where we needed to each create a budget. When he created the budget and I created my budget, our budgets were like day and night. Like at that time we're like, where's the gun? I need to shoot this man. How can he just be thinking about entertainment?
You have to entertain you, Carol.
And I'm like, so how are we going to save? How are we going to one day own a house? How are we going to... As in, I was really so paced. And for me, that was the wake-up point in terms of... The wake-up call in terms of, hey, you're getting married to someone who's very different than you are. And so with that, it was an eye-opener in regards to marriage would be different. Because really, I wouldn't marry this person who wasn't doing budgets and expect him, snap, you're doing a budget. So for us anyways, when we were doing courtship, we agreed we'd be doing a budget. However, I've learned how to give a bit of flexibility in regards to how we spend. Because if we live by Carol's rule of thumb for no entertainment, my husband is gonna be a really miserable man. So to be very honest, it goes back to, yes, you can be very disciplined and you're very focused on getting your family ahead financially. But if your spouse is going to be miserable, you need to think about how can you compromise. And that's why marriage is a union that should be, that the two become one, even in financial oneness. And I remember even one of the persons taking us through premarital telling us that it's interesting, people become one in flesh. And you can imagine how it's getting naked in front of someone is hard, but they're not willing to become naked financially. In terms of saying to my spouse, this is how much I earn, this is how much you earn, and this is what I did with my money. So for us, I think we made it as the first step when we're getting into marriage to agree there was no Carol's money, his money. It was our money as a family, and our money enables us to achieve family objectives. So what we've done, which is different, is I've found ourselves spending more on entertainment, which in my life, personally, individually, I was not spending as much, but I understand that's important for my husband. And it goes back to, why am I going to be this person who is being a stickler to spending to the T, and this person is actually not living life, and also it demotivates them in regards to even going to work. Because it goes back to, for him, he loves going to work because going to work, he will earn money, he'll have money for his family, and also he'll have money to help other people. So the merging of the two worlds, to be very honest, it's not easy, but it requires a lot of transparency between the two spouses. And a lot of open communication, because also money is a very touchy issue.
That's true.
And also when you hit a low as a family, the men are usually more affected. Even when you look at your guys' friends, if you've lost a job, for chicks it's much easier. For men it's harder, because there's this society pressure that men have in regards to providing for their families, and even before they are married, that your status is defined by how much you earn. So I don't think there's a one size fits all. We just need to be very transparent. And even as we are saying that the two shall become one, truly become one by having a lot of transparency about your money issues.
Could you please tell our audience that book you did and who the author is? I mean, it could help somebody.
Oh, okay, fine. So yeah, we were doing it's a book that you can find online. It's called Preparing for Marriage by John Piper. Other than that, when we did the blog, the podcast in general about planning, we also actually did a budget template. So for anyone who's struggling around the budgeting area, you can have a look at that template. And the beauty about budgets is that you're able to project what you need to spend, and also you're able to save for your big ticket items and have a goal towards that. And there's a little financial saying that says save before you spend. So, and that save before you spend is paying yourself, because look at it this way: you've paid KRA, you've paid your tithe, you have paid your bills. What is your payment at the end of the day, which you can show for it? So that goes back into your savings.
And I think what really came out clear for me was when two people come from different backgrounds, their view on money is different. I think, Sally, I'd want you to tell us, how does family background affect people's views on marriage? On money, sorry.
On marriage. I'm married in Jesus' name. Prophetic prophecy, I beg. Yes. All right. My family background view on marriage and generally
On
money.
No, I'm prophesying. So anyway, on money. So on money, I'd say I personally have been fortunate to have parents who have understood the language of money and wealth. Because again, when you look at money, we look at it in different ways. Whether it can help you get a means to an end, as I said earlier, and also money can make you comfortable, and money can be used to plant seeds for other things. So I'll talk about the aspect of how financially growing up, I guess since I can remember, I used to be in charge of all the coins in the house. So I used to be the one to go and, okay, I'm a last born and I have like much older siblings. So I was always the small one occulting coins everywhere. I was not like broke all the time, but like I just was to manage loose change. And so from that, and I would go and count. My parents are were both entrepreneurs and now they are successful business people. So I never saw employment as, again, in my family. So again, you can look at money as an employee or as an employer. So I have always seen people who own their own businesses all my life. So again, that kind of helped because we're always, every dinner table money was never a no subject. It was like, money was a means to an end, but then you're always seeing how you can grow your money. So investing, saving, and creating more money for you is important. So since I was young, we always went through, there's something called the cash flow quadrant. It's a really, I think most of you probably read it when you were kids, by Robert Kiyosaki, and he talks about something called the cash flow quadrant. So imagine a window with 4 window panes, and each quadrant means something. So growing up in my home, that quadrant came into life because we always had the aspect of, who are you in life? Are you going to be an employer? Are you going to be an employee? Are you going to be a business owner? Or are you going to be an investor? So my parents, I can say they're in the investor quadrant. And for us growing up, we were always we never started at employee, but by birth I think we were employees of my parents. Because as picking coins was being an employee, and also I guess also like helping in strategic plans for our business. So our everyday life was in line with how we can make more money. So you spend it, you replace it. It was spend and replace. So when it came to planning for our holidays, like, you know, everything, like even our social activities, I don't know, we had entertainment in our family, but it was Carol, but we had planned entertainment that was within our means. So the richer, also we can say, the richer we got, the more our activities went with our money. So it's not that we didn't have holidays when we didn't have money. We had them, but based on our means. So we lived between our means. So for example, if our holidays were Mombasa, then now they grew to Dubai and the rest later on, was because we grew with our money. So we lived within our means. We were not jinyimaing. We always rewarded ourselves. And I thank God for my parents so much. Shout out to my parents. They really brought up, and all of us are entrepreneurs, by the way, right now. So again, also another thing we also had was cash cows. We were always, and I'll explain what a cash cow is. It's not an actual ngombe. It's cash cow means you create an avenue for you to constantly have money with you, not having to work there full time. So something that you know, making money as you sleep. That's exactly what I've been brought up in my home to do. Like and even in my life, like things I would take to my family. Like, when you're doing your technical work, we're trained, we've gone to school. You know, you'll work probably, which I did. I worked in employment. But I always had something I'm selling. I used to sell perfume. Remember back in the day? I used to sell perfumes. I'd sell tea, something. So it was just, Ukikuyu had a part to play again. But it was not the whole thing. I think the concept here is that money should not control you. It should come in as a means to an end, literally. And so your family you should start empowering your kids, your environment to work for you. And if it's not working for you, you need to adjust some things. You need to adjust how you're spending. You need to adjust what you're investing in. As Carol said, you can invest in money markets. You can also invest in other people. People don't see that as cash money is not exactly liquid. It doesn't have to be liquid cash. It can also be investing in something that I would call in-kind. Something that is an in-kind of somebody. So for example, if I know somebody's talented, or, you know, I know somebody's an upcoming entrepreneur, I can put some money there. I don't have to be a billionaire to invest in a small business, in another SME, but I know the returns. I can get royalties from that. They'll always give me a return, you know. So always calculate it in terms of, again, link everything, money included, to your purpose, to what you love doing, to loving others, to being service of others. It's another way of love. Yeah,
I think then it makes it what like she said, when you link it to your purpose, your God-given talent, it becomes effortless. Now you're not, work is not something you dread to do, though it might be boring sometimes.
Yeah.
But it becomes something you delight in, and it bears fruit when what you do.
And also, it's never from a lacking perspective.
Yes.
When you look at money, when you start looking at money from a scarcity mentality, you never will have enough. And it should never be, you should not aspire to be like, I need to have a 6-figure salary for me in order to call myself rich. Again, money is a means to an end. It's just something that it's paper. It's a printed tender. What do you call it? It's a tender. Legal tender.
Yes.
The legal tender. So does that define you? Are you a legal tender? Are you a legal tender?
Actually, with what Sally is saying, I remember attending money wise seminar like 2 weeks ago, and they said based on our family backgrounds, we need to think about what are the things I'm going to leave. Because also you see, our parents are not angels. No. Leave like in terms of their bad money habits. I'm going to leave them. Yeah, which am I going to leave? That when I'm starting my new life as an adult, when I'm starting my life in marriage, I'll not carry these bad money habits into my marriage. And then what am I going to carry?
Yeah.
What are the good money management principles I'm going to carry into my adulthood and all that? Because it goes back to, if you do not separate things in terms of this is what I'm going to leave, this is what I'm going to carry forward.
Yeah.
And actually it's not just money, it's everything in terms of our parents' marriage, bringing up children, everything in life. If you do not separate from that, that's why you have generations and generations of the same family languishing in poverty and going through a lot of the same similar things that you're not able to pick them out because someone never sat to analyze them and correct them.
And sorry, just to add on the aspect of family, here we have many, and basically we're focusing on our parents, right? But your family could also be certain authority figures within your community that you have looked up to, be like, oh, these guys are good, they are financially healthy. Because again, we're looking at money making you financially healthy, to the sense that it's not handicapping you. Because some people, like, they cannot live without checking their account balance on M-Pesa. How much is left? Is that going to be, you become a slave to it? But when you find people who are doing stuff right, are you getting mentors? Because it's like today the whole aspect of being mentored is like, oh, I just want to be mentored when I'm getting married. But what about being mentored how to financially use money? For example, Carol here is like our mentor when it comes to on marriage. But then again, we have other mentors who can also take us to another situation where, even giving to God. Because again, when you look at money in terms of giving to God, and that's another big topic, but like, in terms of stewardship, are you looking at it in money and stewardship are correlated? Like, are you giving in order to just, or are you spending, or are you investing for your own glory, or are you investing and spending for the continuing of God's work in his kingdom?
And I think when you look at it like stewardship, then we begin to take it, you look at money then as a gift. You don't let it control you. And then I think my question comes to you, Mudhoni, then, is there any unwise financial decision you've ever made? I don't know. Or any unwise spend, or something you regretted, or you're like, or you bought it and then you were like,
oh no.
I am pretty sure that every woman here has spent money unwisely.
Correct.
On something they really did not need to buy.
Correct.
Or even they've been convinced not to buy, like Miss Diana.
Correct.
I mean, I'm sure there are people with pairs of shoes here.
Yes.
That they should not have.
Triple correct.
I mean, I don't wear heels and I've got a pair of heels and I'm wondering, really? They've never seen dust. They've never seen dust. Seriously, if you look at the sole of that shoe, it's so brand new, I could resell it. It's busy being eaten by moths, and you wonder, because I bought it and it was expensive.
You're with Diana?
I was with Diana, and
we know who's the issue here.
And she got a no. Actually, I think I'm the one who convinced her to buy hers as well. It's not even her fault.
Peer pressure.
I don't know. I just saw her and I thought shoes. So I don't wear heels. I don't even like them, but here I am with a pair of beautiful red shoes
heels
that just look lovely in my house as a display. That's one. The things you go buy, like the whole, hey, that's the slogan, buy one get one free. That one.
That is
run away. Run away. Because the
enemy.
thing is, I've bought, and this is funny, Harpic. I already had Harpic in my house.
Yeah.
And then I went to the supermarket and I saw if you buy this one, you get another one in. So I forgot that I had some in the house. I wasn't lucky, but it was just right in front of my eyes.
I'll get one for you.
Consumerism.
Consumerism. I went home. Now I have 4 bottles
I'm happy.
of Harpic, which will, for the year. As in, like, sure, even if, as in,
How
it's
much
just
toilet
ridiculous.
cleaning can you
You
do?
could have spent that money on something.
And I bought something on
Yeah.
something else. But the thing is, you saw the sale, you completely forgot what, and I had a
Shop you
list.
had.
I had followed, the Carol way. I had a shopping list and everything. But I went into the supermarket, it was within my eye line, and I left with Harpic.
I remember Sally once saying that she only goes to the supermarket holding money for what she's going to buy.
Yes.
Which enables her not to do impulse buy. Yes. And then last Saturday I had an incident where we were going for family function. We stopped over somewhere. It was near a supermarket. We were waiting for some people to come and join us because they didn't know their way. I told my husband, let's go and check out this supermarket. We've never been to it. Then we get there and it's like, you buy me a choma sausage. I love food. Then he's like, my wallet is in the car. See, we go for it. You know him, if he had the wallet, he'd lay it down for me.
Yeah.
Then I'm like, no, it's okay. Let's just go. But you see, I really didn't need that choma sausage. You're going for lunch at a family
Where you'll
person's
find
house.
more
We were
than
going to
sausages.
find food. Other than that, really, what makes you think that when you just enter a supermarket, you must live with something?
Yeah.
It's just the fact that they're there.
Consumerism,
It's just the fact that they're there because, like, even when you go shopping, like, for clothes, even though if it's in the bend over market where you're picking up
not
things,
need
yeah, you find a dress for 300 shillings. You try it on, it doesn't even look amazing on you, but you still go home. with it.
Because you're like, it's
What is
300.
this?
300.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I've actually got things in my wardrobe which now have ended up in church because I never wore them.
It's true.
It's because you're like, oh, I might fit into this.
Yeah.
Please dress the body you have, not the one you're thinking about
I
in your
love
mind.
it.
Yeah.
And if I could add on that, something that has, I don't know if it's a plague or it's a positive thing, but this whole M-Pesa thing of paying, because when you have M-Pesa, and I guess I'd put it also in credit cards and cards that you just swipe, like you're not actually consciously
feel like
exchanging
you're paying.
money.
Yes.
What has helped me is that when I go to a shop, I want to pay cash. And if I don't have it in my hand, I won't pay. I'm not saying M-Pesa is bad, but I'm just saying, like, review your M-Pesa statements. Nowadays with M-Pesa or whichever, Airtel, Telecom, whatever, mobile money, like, review your statements. Because again, a good thing about those statements, they'll show you a track record how you spend money. Like, I find myself buying airtime, 1,000 or whatever. Then I'm like, this is actually 1,000 Kenya shillings, not Ugandan shillings. Alafu, it's like very easy for you to spend without, because you're not consciously seeing you're getting change, as in that 1,000 is
getting
reducing
money
to
back.
300.
Very true.
I checked my statement one time, I almost passed out.
Yeah.
For real.
Java food.
Java food. Because actually what I did was I stress eat and I'm trying to stop
Java was
that.
your office also.
Yeah. And also because I think I was just going through a head and I was like, let's go have lunch.
Yeah.
So I was accounting for money because I think I'd mixed my money and my client's money. And when I went through my statements and I saw what I'd paid for, I almost shot myself. I was like, pay cash. Pay cash.
Pay
Withdraw, pay cash.
Pay cash, yeah.
Yeah.
I think, I'll give my experience also. I think the day I will never make such a financial decision in my life. I walked into Fab Guru. Shout out to Fab Guru. You have amazing shoes.
I'm
But
a witness.
I walked
She
into
called
Fab
me.
Guru. I wore, I think there were almost four
Fine,
pairs
those were
of
like
shoes.
5.
4 or 5 pairs of shoes. I removed my card.
FYI, just a moment. Here, I will just interject that story. My office was nearby. Diana called me. I went to see the amazing shoes, and trust me, consumerism. I even tried some. They looked fabulous. I was like, it is not in my budget. I was paying rent. This girl was not paying rent.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm paying rent. We don't have 4,000 or 5,000 to spend on a pair of shoes. Diana, I told her, okay, I even helped her. I'm like, Diana, you cannot buy those 5 pairs of shoes. But Diana bought those shoes.
I bought all the
5.
shoes. Right now, I have none of those shoes.
Where?
She
Did you
swiped
sell
her
them?
card.
Because
Did you sell them?
did I sell? Yes, I sold. Because they were 5 inches. I had to sell. They were 5
They were
inches.
pretty.
I mean, I no longer wear that kind of height of shoes. And you see, when I look back now, you see, at that time, you know, because you're holding this card, you feel and then you're like,
Rich.
truth be told, I don't wear even heels every day. I only wear heels, honestly, to church on Saturday. That's when I wear heels. I don't wear heels unless I'm in a meeting.
No, but that time it's an employer, and also probably the other facade when you're in employment is, I've swiped 10 G's. I will have another paycheck at the end of the month.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because when my employment, please, I used to have sandals every day. So when I look back now, I'm like, surely, Dana, was it really necessary? No. And right now, if you gave me that money, surely my business needs to be pumped into money. But I think God allows you to make certain mistakes in your life so that when you move forward, you're able to give first advice to other people. And I think that's the one thing, as we make our closing remarks, if I was to give any advice to my fellow sisters, younger, older, or even, people in my same age, I would say, just ask yourself, like, if you want to buy something, sleep over it. And 24 hours, think about it. And then when you evaluate it on your calmer, because when energy is excited, you're like, oh, this, and then you've picked up with dresses, you'd make a different decision. Yeah. And I think if we look at things like that, I remember once I listened to Kamutoko when she talked about how she has one bag. And until that bag goes out of style, or not even style, until that bag falls apart, she won't replace it. And that thing was so powerful to me. I'm like, I will have one pair of black shoes. Yeah. Until I'm done wearing that pair of black shoes. It doesn't matter if you see it with me.
And it's quality. The quality over quantity.
Quality over quantity. So for me, I'd say anybody listening to us today, pick quality over quantity. Mudhoni, what would you tell? Any advice you'd give to somebody about money?
One, save. Save. Two, plan. Plan for what you get. Because I think what has helped me is that if I'm about to buy something, I really look into how is it going to help me? Yeah. Especially like when I'm buying my phones. Like people look at me like, Madhoni, your phone is like, you bought what? How much? But how I look at it is that, how am I going to use it? For how long do I intend to keep it? And then when you find, you stop looking. Because you find that people find, you buy your phone, but then you're still looking, what are the new phone is out there? What are the new phone is out there? So when you find what you're buying, stop looking for it. But every time you're looking to, like, especially when you're making a major purchase, think about it. Like, take time, plan for it, save for it, and then stop looking.
I like that. Carol?
For me, it's more of the 30 bob, the 300 bob, the K here, K there. Let's remember the Swahili saying that haba na haba hujaza kibaba. So as much as you're spending that 300 bob buying a dress that you did not need, a K on a shoes that you do not need, imagine if you set aside that every month and invest it, it will take you way forward in regards to your financial goals. And then lastly, do not look for a financially stable man. Work on being a financially stable woman.
Hey.
Drop
Sour.
I love that.
Is there anything else to add to
Because I know I don't want to add, but because it's like you're depending on prosperity on somebody else.
Yeah.
Which is actually then you're being lazy.
You're being lazy.
Yeah, I like that. Sally, any advice you'd give?
Wow, yeah, I'm still lingering on Carol.
I know.
Drop mic. I think I'd say never be controlled by three main things: your past, money, and people. And so when you look at money, don't look at it from a sense of lacking or missed opportunities or I should be here in terms of age, in terms of status. Like, money is a means to the end. So don't be controlled by money, because money was put there. First of all, we look at money and its motive. Always look at the motive of why you're spending. And then spend it in a way like, my father is rich. I have a rich father, by the way. You all do, by the way. And that father is up in heaven. And that father is very capable of giving you, who is your provider. You see, when you look at money as, because I have it in my hand, this is the money I have. I can say, I'm going to be a billionaire, which I am going to be if it's God's will. But essentially, don't live your life in a form of lacking with money. Always live in and tap into the aspect of abundance in money. And then invest it in order for it to grow. Because what you don't water shall not grow.
I love that. Thank you so much. We're not done with this topic. We have a part 2 series coming up, and we just want you to ask us questions, write on our social media, Facebook, Instagram. Our handle is SOS Dadas, and we want to thank you so much for the feedback we've been getting. Shout out to our producer Billy. Thank you so much for the time and the space you've given unto us, and until next time, bye.